Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rojo Tarot. I hope that you are well. We're gonna light up some incense right here. You might be someone who literally just came from burning something, literally came from just setting something on fire, or having the fire alarm go off, or something along the lines of fire. And maybe it doesn't have to be physical, it doesn't have to be physical, like setting shit on fire, but just if it is as well, it's it's also something. It's also a message in itself, because there's a particular feeling to this. It's like, why did I burn something that I didn't want to burn? And you probably, there's something about this energy of, why did I burn something I didn't want to burn? So we're gonna tap into this energy and we're gonna figure out what it's all about. If you would like to take in a deep breath with me, please be welcome to. Dear angels, spirit guides, higher self, may we be guided in this message. Okay. I'm being called to do the Moonology deck. Let the moon be your guide is a message that's also coming out. Interesting, because we were also talking about fire, right? Please allow us to channel the messages that need to be channeled right now. Incense, by the way. Let's do this. Right. So why did I set that thing on fire? And why did I allow it to burn? It's falling underneath the microphone. So this might be a situation I relate. This might be a situation. I was gonna say that you almost brought too much fire to, too much maybe expectation to. Okay, you saw something and you thought you liked it, or there's something about you being attracted to what you could get. And for example, I'm thinking about mini pizzas. How you also have large pizzas. Okay. It's interesting because I'm gonna tell you what just happened to me. I went to the supermarket and I was doing groceries, and for the first time I felt like buying myself a pizza. At first I thought, I don't know if in the house that I am, that there will be an oven. I didn't search well, and then I thought maybe the microwave will do something. I left the whole pizza, the fresh whole pizza, the one that I stared at for a while. And then I said, no, it's okay. I'm gonna get myself something fresher, something else. So I walked into the store, and then I was looking at potatoes and other vegetables. And then eventually I came across the freezer. So I did take those things. I put in my basket and I said, yes, thank you. But I still am thinking about pizza. I am one to love pizza, okay? I'm a pizza lover. I'm a girl who loves pizza. Oh my God, Italiano style. Okay, thin, beautiful. Just don't even get me started. But this time I decided to go for mini pizzas. Okay, now how this progresses is important, because for example, you wanted to go and you wanted to buy something, you wanted to experience something, eat something, experience something. That's what I'm getting. You wanted to experience something that was big, something that that normally would be shared in 8 pieces. It's funny that today is the 8th. 8 might be a number that you've been seeing a lot today, but 8 also, if you turn it around, looks like infinity. It's making me think of this. Okay? It's making me think of this artwork here, which I also believe is very relevant. Because imagine me picking mini pizzas instead of a whole pizza. What does that mean? It means that what I felt like I could deal with mini pizzas in a better way compared to how I deal with a big pizza, despite me knowing that in both cases of me standing in front of the fridge deciding, what pizza I want to get, I still ended up choosing the small ones. I still ended up choosing the cheap one. I still ended up choosing something that I didn't feel like that didn't give me the same feeling as it did the first time. Do you get what I'm saying? And what fell down on the microphone here is hold your vision. The fixed moon. I believe yesterday was the fixed moon, or the day before was the fixed moon. Or no, it's the crescent shape that is making me think like that. So the half moon. We might not be in the fixed moon. The fixed moon might have already happened. But what I'm getting is that it's connected to also the different sides of you, okay? And when I say the different sides of you, the different sides of what you believe you are worth, what you believe you deserve, how you go around the world knowing that the first instinct normally is the right one. Don't doubt it. Because imagine if you did take the whole pizza. Would that have burnt just as quickly, just as easily? Would that have burned at all? If you did put it in the microwave? We never know. I mean, you don't know that. But the fact that you chose something else, you didn't really care that much for it even. And then it burnt. And then you couldn't eat from it anymore. You can, but it's going to be a lot less tasty than, when you first put it in there, when the smell started coming out. It's giving, you might be someone who chose a particular path in your life, despite those first initial moments of excitement, despite those moments of excitement that you felt for different things. You decided to go for the other thing that was going to make each success look small. Like I'm getting those mini pizzas as each success, as like every milestone. But in the end of the day, you still end up with a whole bunch of mini pizzas that wouldn't even be able to make one pizza. Or, be the size of one pizza if put together. Yeah, there are still spaces, like you can put it on a plate and it will cover the plate just as a normal pizza would, but there would still be fragments that these mini pizzas are going to be showing space between. It's not going to be a full circle, a complete circle. What I'm getting is that when I was talking about infinity, number 8, also, it's that just awareness of who we are, of what we do, of how we act. And moments like this, when you're so in this energy of not understanding yet that what you say, what you do, you know, when it comes out, when it happens, that is trustworthy. And I think that that's something that is coming up now, because it's also either a reminder, you know, like it feels like a final reminder to something. It's like, okay, you've managed to do what you need to do now. But just remember, before you go up on that stage, before you go up on that thing, before you stand by that microphone, before you stand in front of those people, before you tell this person that thing, now that you've learned that if you also pick something that you didn't really, that you know you didn't really have a good feeling about, or it wasn't as exciting as this other thing. And when I say exciting, it's not surface level. Excitement is also something that is born from inside of us. There's something that tickles our minds. There's something that brings us curiosity. And I'm getting now, curiosity killed the cat. Yeah, but curiosity also saved the cat. Curiosity also helped the cat learn. Curiosity also allowed the cat to realize where the dangers are so that they don't have to, you know, fall under the category of curiosity killed the cat. It's also about looking at the different perspectives. Respecting your own perspective as well, the perspective of others, but also how fluid that can also be. Perspective of yourself, most importantly. What do you deserve? What do you believe you deserve? And when it is served in front of your face, will you be happy? Will you be happy with those mini pizzas, or will you be thinking about that whole pizza that you wanted to get? It's the same with this microphone. But it's also different right now, because I wanted to get a smaller microphone that I could keep here, that wouldn't be making so much noise at times, you know, when the cable gets all funky. But in the store, I don't think I would have been as happy if I didn't come home with this. If I had really gone there and come back with nothing. But maybe coming back with nothing would have been better, because then I would have found another alternative to get the thing that I want. So you can also look at it like that. Or you can also look at it like, it doesn't really matter, because I do believe that what I chose, the feelings that I had, despite the thing not being there, is still working for me. It's still here, and it's still doing what I need it to do. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that, I'm being limited in some ways. In a way, yeah, you can't be walking around without having your phone attached to the microphone, or you need a really long cable. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's just really interesting today. It really is. And what I'm seeing is that it's like a threshold. Hold your vision. This picture displays two women, of course, that you see here, but in my eyes, they are the same. In my eyes, they are the same. They are the same person, despite having, different hair. This card, when it's come out, be bold and make the first move. It's interesting that we have blue and pink here. Mountains and earth, like trees. And it's interesting that, the colors in here are also the same. What I'm also seeing is that because the mountains are on this side, this little piece of incense fell down, which makes sense, because I was going to say thank you for the confirmation that this mask also, in a way, makes you feel stagnant, makes you feel like you're a mountain and that you cannot move. But it's also mountains. Despite their physical stagnancy, their minds are not. Let's just imagine it like that. You know, how do people look at mountains as also representations of good foundations, of also higher knowledge, how they also stretch out into the sky, their patience. However, it is also something that stays that way for a long time. So certain ideas that you might have had, perceptions, beliefs about your life, what you deserve, what you deserve to be given, what you think other people deserve. It is tied to that type of feeling, okay? Like, this is giving me your foundation. Yeah, like your foundation of your childhood, your foundation of growing up, your foundation of who you are. But don't forget that trees, they also grow in mountains. Don't forget that mountains also provide a really good foundation for trees. Rocks, they're like storage units for minerals, in a way. You know, when rain falls on these mountains, erosion happens slowly over time, but those minerals get carried down the mountain as well and into the soil, where these trees can grow. And for some reason, I'm getting tears. You might have been somebody who recently cried, and that's why I'm referencing rain, I think. You know, the way rain falls on your face. It sometimes falls on your chest, like your heart. It allows you to grow. That's so beautiful. That's really beautiful. It's like a mother providing the nutrients for this person to grow. It seems like you are your own mother. There's also something about remothering. There's also something about reapproaching how you give yourself and allow opportunities to come to you, but also how you allow opportunities to evolve. Rain, growth, evolution, trees, nature, cycles that are symbiotic, and you know, all of that is going through my mind right now. But I also love that this is here. This is a symbol that I started drawing when I was in boarding school at the age of 13, 14, for the first time. It's very significant to me, and I used to draw it with a dot in the middle. I haven't done that here. It's like something that you also lose faith in. You know, when I first drew it, I thought, wow, where is this symbol coming from? I don't think I've ever seen it before, or seen it displayed in this way. It feeling like this energetically as well, if you're somebody who can feel stuff off of people, but also energy, words. And I told people, I told somebody, and you know, they also didn't seem like they understood where I was coming from, why I'd be so curious about a design like this, something that could be so unassuming. You might be someone who is also getting people now to, and I don't want to say you know, the universe, and the way that you've been able to cultivate your relationship to the universe, build that relationship foundation, is also allowing you to be in this space of growth, okay? And growth is not always pretty, or growth doesn't always happen when the sun is shining. Growth happens even when the clouds are there. Growth happens when it's raining. Growth happens when it's not raining. Growth happens when sometimes you get drought, and then, you know, you don't have any water, and you're like, fuck, how am I gonna survive? and then And then it rains again. And then it's like, not only have you released this, fuck, am I gonna survive? Like, but you've also released your own potential for growth. It's like you're in flourishing. Something about flourishing. You know how when water touches land, in those animations or in your mind, if you see like water touching barren land, dry land, and then all of a sudden you get all these sprouts of beautiful plants growing everywhere. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, man. And this mask over here it's broken. There's a scar here because you're also in a phase where I love that the mask is also showing half the mask, and here we also have half. Right? And the moon also has crevices, doesn't it? It's got those big crevices. Stuff that's there, and yet we still call it beautiful. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Sometimes the moon is also seen as to show illusions, to represent illusions, or to represent a type of light that shines slightly differently, but necessary. A light that is also in a way unassuming, but reflecting so much, allowing so much to be seen. And how also the moon affects us so heavily in ways that we also don't always and are always aware of physically or mentally at times, I believe. Yeah, I mean, if you know these things, if you do research, if you are, of course, I don't even have to be explaining that, right? You know whoever you are. If if I was gonna say if this reached the right person, right people. But that's what I'm getting, babes. I'm also looking at this boat down here. And interesting that this crow is also here. Because I also picked up a feather the other day. A crow's feather. And crows were also part of a certain period of my life. But they also were part of a more stagnant part of my life. And that's why, in a way, also befriending them, in a way also being more aware of their presence and likely them of mine was also a possibility. So it was also a possibility for me to break my own mask or to have the scar on my mask. And it's funny that I'm saying my mask. People tend to have masks, okay? Not everyone, and not everyone always had a mask. Not everyone I don't want to speak for everyone, but in a way it makes a little bit more sense right now to say that imagine if you were born. Were you born with a mask already? Or was that mask built throughout childhood? And other experiences in your life. Moments where you likely felt small. Moments when people made you feel small. Moments when all of that happened and yet you shined. And yet you decided to be yourself and shined so bright. It's interesting because I'm also getting like a deprivation. Like certain moments felt overwhelming to you because you were given moments to express. You were given moments that you likely dreamed to be part of. You were given opportunities to to feed and to, fall into this form of excitement, this initial excitement. Let it be for, I also let it be for things that aren't work related. Let it be for things that are work related. Whatever really sparks you, whatever whatever just makes you speechless and just want to make weird noises, want to make just want to just be yourself. And I keep looking down at let the moon be your guide. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah, man. And you know what I'm getting is that you've already been making the moves. It's a growth process. You're becoming bolder and bolder and bolder with your growth. But also that your growth and you simply choosing growth is bold. Your growth alone, naturally, the way that it comes, that is just bold in itself without even you trying as well. And that's also something that you maybe are getting used to now that you've sort of been in this new form of who you are. Now that you've realized that there were two sides of you fighting, or two sides of you, or it felt like two sides of you, because there was a mask. There was no two sides of you, because a lot of the times the other side of you, or if you even look at it like that, it's inside of you already. It's in your mind. It's who you are. Maybe you just suppress it. You suppress the thing that made you fear. You suppress the thing that talked down on you. Like, why would you want to talk down on yourself? Now I'm gonna start crying again. Why would anybody want to talk down on somebody else's growth? Why would anybody want to ruin that in the moment? Why would anybody want to interfere with an energy that somebody is trying to cultivate? You don't even know how long that person has been cultivating that energy for, and you just go ahead and fuck it up. And it's not that you successfully fuck it up, but you go ahead and you try and, fucking, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. And I'm also speaking to, your mind, your doubts, your fears, the things that you do to yourself that put you in positions where it's like, fuck. Why? When burning that thing, I was like, why? Like, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten almost anything all day, and I just wanted to eat something. That's the problem. Maybe you just wanted to eat something, that initial idea that you had, because that wasn't my first idea. I had another idea, but I thought, maybe not today, because, da da da. And I was like, girl. And just like that, I keep looking up at 8 on my keyboard, and it's pointed up. So what we were also saying, higher knowledge and things like that, I'm also getting an opportunity to ask. In moments when you do doubt, ask for help. It's okay to say it. It's okay to be there with them. When I say with them, with you, with the universe, with your ancestors, with your spirit guides, whoever you believe in, your passed away family members who are still with you, your childhood self, your imaginary friend. I'm also speaking to people who have spent a lot of time of their life, like a lot of moments of their life, sort of choosing to want to be in their own space, choosing or preferring. I'm also thinking about the mountain again, preferring to be in a stagnant place, in a stagnant way of living and doing the same things. And now that you're finally breaking the mold and, opening yourself up to different opportunities, being bold Making the first move, not waiting for somebody else to, for example, come to you if you want an opportunity, if you've been dreaming for an opportunity. You're not scared to make the first move and put your name out there and just do it. Because you're at this point now where you're ready to let go of whatever this is. You're able to see what it was. But it's also you're able to love it for what it is. You know, and being able to love also means being able to let go. Like really let go and really see yourself be happy, really allow yourself to be happy, really allow somebody else to be happy. With or without you. You know, it's those moments when really, after so many years, you look at yourself after one specific change in your life, one bold move that you decided to make in your life, and then you look back at that moment and you see this, you see the exact moment when this new you, when this you, it's not even new, when you finally set yourself free from something that felt like was holding you, a part of you that was holding you, scared, you know, also really protective is what I'm getting. Why else would you want to put on a mask? To protect something that maybe some people might see in you and maybe use, abuse. Something that people might want to make you want to lose. Huh? I just received a message. We have adjustments are required in reverse. Okay, so you're doing exactly what you need to do, baby. Even like small things, okay? Forgiveness and understanding. Me just saying baby. You know how much I hated saying baby as a kid? I was like, don't call me baby. Or like, if I ever enter a relationship, I wouldn't want people to call me baby. Like, I'm not a fucking baby. Like, if you want to call a baby, call like an actual baby a baby. And even then, they have a name. Yeah, she has a point. She has a point. I guess right now it's just, you know, I'm open for sweetness. You're open for love, and you're open for it to come in a natural form in a way that wants to come out. And it's also, it's that feeling of knowing that whatever comes now is genuine, whatever comes now is true, whatever comes now is what you've been wanting to be ready for. Prosperity lies ahead. And you're charging it like a bull, babes. It's 9:28 right now, 8th of July. $9:29. I have it on my laptop, by the way. My laptop is open. Well, it actually just turned on. I don't know if you can tell. There you go. Oh, you can't tell when it turns on, but that's fine. Is background. um I think that's really beautiful energy, and honestly, I think I might just leave it here. You see, I'm getting better, am I not? I'm making at least this one's not 1 hour long, and I know it's not even a bad thing. It's my YouTube channel, they're my videos, but I also want to. I'm trying to get better at understanding when a message ends, because I was just about to delve into another message here, but I also am understanding that it's something else that needs its own time as well, right? So I'm gonna leave you here. I am also very proud of you. I'm also very proud of how far you have come. And whatever it is that you've been fighting for, and whatever it is that you've been burning and aching for, passionately, a dream. Oof, how charged that word feels right now, because this dream feels solid. This dream feels nearly tangible. So, thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next reading.